Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome to Research Now Live. I'm Sadia Corey, I'll be your host. And I'd like you all to please welcome David Hobbie from ESPN.
Thank you. I don't get standing ovations very often.
Well, they don't have seats, David.
Or ovations.
So, you've been at ESPN for about 3 years.
I have,
After
yes.
a short stint at Adidas.
Yeah, I worked with at Adidas for about a year. I started my ESPN career at an internship one summer. I worked with Adi for about a year and moved back to the East Coast. I was in Portland, Oregon at Adidas. So back to the East Coast and with ESPN ever since.
Let's jump right in here. How do you see research impacting the ESPN business the next 2 to 5 years?
Well, I didn't mention I work on the international side. So the short and uber complicated answer to that is as many ways possible. I really try to preach the value of fact-based decision making.
Right.
And I really think that as many ways that research can contribute to that. There are so many implications across our organization. I'll tell you about two main ways that we contribute to ESPN's efforts.
Yeah.
Excuse me, on a day-to-day basis. The first is working closely with our programming team.
Yeah.
ESPN's mission is to serve sports fans. So on the programming side, what that means is delivering the most relevant content we can to consumers in each market. So each market's a little different. It definitely presents varying challenges, especially for a research side in each market. So what we try to do is understand consumers as best we can in each market and help our programmers understand kind of what's working, maybe what's not working, and try to help them deliver the most salient content we can. Understand consumers not only what sports are they watching or want to watch and track, but how are they tracking it, whether it's on TV or mobile or online. Ideally, it's all of the above.
Right.
So that's the first thing, and that's like I said, we just want to serve sports fans, so that's the most important thing on a day-to-day basis. So the second thing that I work pretty closely with is on the global media sales side.
Okay.
And what that entails is, again, understanding our sports fans, but working more to develop cross-platform measurements and showing the value of cross-platform and pan-regional ad campaigns. So we want to encourage our advertising partners to go beyond the one-dimensional, single-market ad buys and really show them that you can reach a larger and more engaged audience through cross-platform and pan-regional global campaigns. So to the extent that when we can maximize the value to our consumers at a local level, we can then in turn maximize the value of our brand on a global level to our partners.
Excellent, excellent. So that's great. That's great. Leads us on very nicely to what you think is the most interesting research innovation you've seen so far at this in the past 12 months and so far the year. Yeah.
I've been really fascinated by the neuroscience research I've seen out there, and there's a lot of different examples of it, but I think it's fascinating. It goes beyond just kind of tracking what people are doing and trying to ask them why they do what they do, and it gets into actual brain functionality and what the reaction of the actual brain on when they see various programming or various advertising. I think it's just an extremely powerful supplement to what the existing research that's been in place for years. There's been some really fascinating developments in recent years, and I think we're always scratching the surface of this neuroscience, and we'll see more interesting developments in future years, I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely takes it to the next level.
Absolutely.
Now you mentioned cross-platform, and some of that is mobile.
Absolutely.
Where do you see the world of mobile going with advertising in the next 5 years?
Well, I think there's plenty of evidence to suggest that the mobile space is going to continue to grow, and around the world, not just in this country. I see a sense of kind of hyper-personalization coming, where both for the consumers and their ability to kind of choose various mobile devices, and they're going to have more and more options to choose what kind of device they want, and what do they want delivered to them. But also on the advertiser standpoint, and this is where research can play a huge role, and it's a huge challenge, is to continue kind of understanding these consumers on mobile platforms. As the mobile space becomes more and more complicated, that's a big challenge for research, is to kind of understand these markets and understand consumers. But I think the implications for advertisers are there's going to be more and more opportunity to really target specific target audiences. As long as research can keep up with the market and understand these consumers, there's tremendous implications for real targeted marketing going forward in mobile.
I think that's probably the challenge for the industry, just to keep up with that.
Absolutely, and it's something that research is kind of trying to keep up. There's no way you can stay ahead of new devices. As the market becomes more complicated, research, that's the big challenge, is to keep up with it.
So David, do you tweet? Do you have a Twitter account?
I don't tweet. I don't have a Twitter account. I've been on Twitter plenty of times, just looking around and seeing what other people are saying.
You're a taker, not a giver.
That's right. Exactly.
So if you were to tweet and you did have a Twitter account, what one famous person, alive or dead, would you want to follow? Would you want to take from?
Well, I'll preface it. I don't want to take this in a negative direction. I'll preface it by saying I'm a Yankee fan, and I'm going to choose a dead guy. So I apologize.
It's okay.
I would like to track Babe Ruth.
Right.
I'm not sure how long he would last. I don't know how long the Yankees would allow him to stay on there, but I think he'd be, as long as he's on Twitter, he'd be a fascinating follow.
So, big baseball fan?
I'm a big baseball fan, big Yankee fan,
Excellent. So one more getting to know David question. On your bucket list, assuming you have one, what are the top 3 things you'd like to do?
Well, I have a huge bucket list, and there's plenty of stuff out there. I love international travel. That's one thing that got me interested in the international side of research. So I'd love to hike the Inca Trail. I've been to Machu Picchu, but I felt like I was cheating. I took a bus right up to the gate, and
I did too.
It was a fascinating place, a wonderful place. It's more of an excuse to go back. Never been to Africa. I'd like to go on an African safari.
Okay.
And a little longer reaching, I'd love to go to space.
Wow. Travel in the broadest sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little even more international. I'll keep saving my pennies.
Well, excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And
Please stick around. We have more coming up. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.